Space and Rocket Review. Space and Rocket Review. You two girls, tell your friends. Space and Rocket Review. Yeah? What's going on, YouTube? How you doing? Twitch? Yeah, the reason why everybody's linking me re-entry over in Twitch chat, that's what we're talking about. The reason why everybody's linking re-entry is because they released it in 1.0, so everybody's getting advertisements for it, man. I've had 5 mentions of re-entry today in chat, 2 in Discord DMs. Hey, EJ, have you seen this game? Yes, I've seen this game. Am I interested in it? Not really. No. No, I'm not really. I got enough stuff, dude. We got enough games. We got enough things to do. 6. Now, have you seen re-entry? Well, that would be... Whatever. Yeah, I mean, yeah, whatever. It's fine. I got enough games, dude. We got enough things to do. We got enough games to play. Would you play when the shuttle comes? No. Not interested. Yeah, we don't do space here. We do canoes. Actually, this is a canoeing stream now. Right, roadcraft update. Good times, like fuel. It took them this long to put fuel into the game, Beats. Okay. Okay. Online canoe review. Canoe transport system. We do cars. Shut it. Who cares about space? Yeah, right? Yeah. I know it's sad. Why haven't I got it? Yeah, it's why you haven't got it. Yeah. I Anyway. Roadcraft. Man, that game could have been amazing. But now that... But nah. It's been in the game for a little. You remember having to refuel 24/7. Oh boy. So it took them like what, 5 months to add fuel instead of 4? Or 4 months to add fuel instead of 5? That's good. All right, so let's jump into the space news. So if you didn't see over the weekend, New Glenn had a Flight 2 launch attempt, and it didn't it wasn't great. There were a lot of thunderstorms. The rocket did get out and was fully fueled, ready to go on the pad, but there was just not... The weather wasn't cooperating. It does look really good, though. I mean, the rocket looks great. New. Fueling was in hard mode. Don't make excuses for them, Shark Tales. Don't make excuses. It's a bad game. Don't make excuses. And Elon, as Elon said, morning glory. Yep. So Jeff Bezos posted a picture of him getting his rocket up. And Elon responded with morning glory. So they didn't go. The weather wasn't cooperating, and there were a couple of boats in the range. So the windows that they wanted, they were trying to. So the storms on Sunday were a little bit scattered. So they were trying to find a gap in the storms to send it, but right when they found a gap, a boat entered the range, and and then a cruise ship left. And then a meteor hit. It's just 2 Bezos in a van. Look, Jeff's not the one known for his tents. Right. Right. No, and Meteor didn't hit, no. That was the Chinese spacecraft. Xinjiao 20 made it back, by the way. If you got that joke, well, good for you. They did make it down, which is very nice. Blue ultimately ended up scrubbing. The weather wasn't cooperating. The next attempt for Newglands is... the next attempt for Newglands is Wednesday. Now, Blue Origin did get a permit, a grandfathered in permit to launch during the day. As you know, if you don't know, right now, commercial launches on the books are limited to nighttime hours only because of the government shutdown. Because how long that's going to last, I don't know. Blue Origin got a okay to launch during the day from the FAA or something. An exemption. That's the word I'm looking for. Thank you. Probably not the only blue thing, Bezos.
Listen, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
Nice.
Hey, EJ.
What?
Ha 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 ha. It's me, Jeff. Just kidding. I had my underpaid intern type this up for you. Anyway, thanks for reviewing my rocket. I hope it was very large and worth a look. Ha 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 ha.
Yes, Mark, that's exactly what have been. Anyway, why is the building so big? Why is the fire so big, Gus? Gus, why is the fire so big? Your wife's a Bigfoot, isn't she, Gus? Anyway, so in light of that, yeah, the next New Glenn attempt is on Wednesday. But here, check this out. That didn't stop Tori Bruno from taking pictures of some Blue Origin B4s for the Vulcan assembly line here. Look at all of them. Look at all of them in a nice row. Pretty maids all in a row. Come on, set it up. Come on, mom, baby. Bottoms up. No, all right, cool. Weather on Thursday looks better. There's a concern to wind for Wednesday. Yep. Mm-hmm. You just look at it. At least the intern didn't lose their head making a wrong turn. Right. Come on, baby. Bottoms up. No, this shows that Blue is starting to scale up BE4 production, which is great. Great. We want more of these. Good. Make more. You should make like 10 more at least. Gus, why is the fire so big? I am a great musician. The nozzle cover is blue. Uh-huh. Oh, how does he do it? I love him. I need him. That's a different song, but yes. Yeah. Beautiful engines. Well, it's not just smoking and drinking at the launch site. On the top of the world. Top of the world. What I want is F1-sized Methalox engines. The B4 is close, Trey. It's close. It's not exactly as big as an F1, but it's almost there. An F1 would probably be like... If this was the top of the F1 over here, it'd probably be to about here. Yeah. 30 Vulcans in active production. Yeah, baby. Around 30, starting at the front door, machining skins. This is final assembly near the back door. There's another line to the left off camera and a couple behind the photographer. Nice. So ULA is finally starting to scale. They're that's cool, man. You know, considering they're going from like one launch a year launch cadence to now like 13 or 14 a year easily. Yeah, that's pretty good. Pretty good stuff. All right. So what else do we got here? What else do we got? All right, so Vast actually rolled out a new video here showing off their mission control center. Vast, of course, is building commercial space stations, or at least working on building commercial space stations here. Haven demo, the road to Haven 1. Vast is the only operational commercial space station company to have flown and operated its own spacecraft into orbit, validating key technologies for the world's first commercial space station. All right, let's see what this is about. Nope, can't play that. Maybe we can, hold on.
You sit there and wait?
Nope, can't. On your first ground station pass, it turns on and you get telemetry back. Hey, all right. That's Max out. He's the, oh, bye-bye. This is where Haven Demo's journey began. The road to Haven 1. I need you to get out of Long Beach tonight. Johnny B. No. Link to the vid, please? No. No, watch it here. It's vast. It's a very vast vid. Humanity's long-term future in space. In order to test and prove out technologies required to launch and operate a space station, putting our hardware in orbit was a critical first step. Haven Demo. But you're going too fast. Haven Demo was an idea hatched at the same time as Haven 1. We're going to build the world's... Oh, no, I have to do the voice. Okay, all right, that's a person doing the voice. It's not the voiceover guy. Haven Demo was an idea hatched at the same time as Haven 1. We're going to build the world's first commercial space station using technologies that exist today. In Long Beach, California, engineers have designed Haven Demo as a proving ground for the systems that will power Haven 1. Computers, powers, software, guidance, navigation, propulsion, radios, and ground... Why'd you link it, Creeper? It's unique in its complexity. Haven Demo is like Haven 1. Crap. Minus all of the systems required for supporting human life. I can't do her voice. I don't even know what she sounds like. It's about manufacturing a spacecraft and building a culture of collaboration and trust. A company proving to itself that it could move fast, solve hard problems, and bring ambitious designs to life. Once integrated, Haven Demo underwent an exhaustive test campaign. Each trial designed to simulate the harsh realities of launch in orbit. It's really important, after testing all of the subsystems and integrity of them, to verify that everything works together cohesively as an integrated vehicle. Following the successful test campaign, Haven Demo was delivered for integration to the rocket to launch aboard the Bandwagon 4 mission. Wait a minute, can I see that truck again? Hold on. Look at it. Look. It's so weird looking. You sound just like her. Yeah, thank you. It's a truck, but it's got a little stubby box on the back. Yeah, Bandwagon 4 launched a week and a half ago, give or take. After the team finished development, testing, and integration, in record time, Haven Demo is ready to launch. Launch director, go for launch. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Engines full power. And liftoff, the Bandwagon 4 mission. Go SpaceX, go Bandwagon. Team watched as the oh no, this is VO stuff. The team watched as the rocket carried Haven Demo into space. Haven Demo separation confirmed. The satellite successfully achieved orbit, setting up the next critical phase, making first contact. Sending first contact step 2.1 to attempt for SRS connection. Sent. Good effect. Yes. Nice. Golf claps. Golf claps. With telemetry pouring into mission control, the next step was to get video downlinked and get visual confirmation of solar array deployment. Signaling mission success. Logic. We have video downlinked now. Over. Ready? Ready? Spring. Click. Nice. The mission was a success. Haven Demo deployed its solar array, achieved stable orbit, and remains power positive, with good contact to mission control. Having that hardware already being flown, Haven Demo gives VAST the confidence that they need to apply directly to crewed spaceflight. It really proves to both ourselves and the rest of the world that we're a real spacecraft company. That we have real hardware in space, and we're not just design reviews. We can build and maintain safe hardware on orbit, and that we can be trusted to the next generation of America's space stations. Vast. It's out of this world. Vastspace.com. No, that's super cool. So that was the Haven demo set. We did see the solar panel deploy from the Haven demo set. I did show you guys that, but it's cool to see a kind of a little video from Vast. I can't really play any of the music, guys. If I play the music, it'll mute the VOD. Coming soon to a space near you. That. V-A-S-T. It's in the game. EA Sports. It's in the game. Uh-huh. Good. Yeah, New Glenn on Wednesday. That's right, Zach. Yep. Mm-hmm. Hey, you probably already talked about it, but what's up with the 2 Starlinks on Friday? Can they do that? I didn't already talk about it. Let's take a look. So this is next space flight. We got a Starlink today at 10:21. That's pretty neat. How dare you attempt to make a living by exploiting those hardworking background music artists? I have a word for those background music artists, weather guy. Or a phrase, I guess. Do you know what really helps ease shoulder pain? If you lick my butthole. Alright, cool, sweet. That's probably not gonna happen, Pelly Joe. One of those will probably move right or left. Or maybe SpaceX wants to try to launch 2 rockets at the same time, man. Bumblebee. Stop lubricating the man. That would be cool to see 2 Falcon 9s launch at the same time. Jeez, hellfish, no. 10 p.m. is the cutoff for the FAA, so 1 minute for lots of launches. Oh boy. There's no way that they're gonna go at the same time. Like, I mean, speaking of Armageddon, yeah, we were talking about Armageddon a little earlier. Maybe that was the impetus for it. I mean, it's different pads and different boats, so it could be. Yeah. But also in the same direction. Where's this? What's the track for this? So that's taking a southerly trajectory. 6-89. Van. Interesting. To be fair, Falcon Heavy is 3 Falcon 9s launching at the same time, just all connected. Van. Like I said, Paley Joe, that would be cool if SpaceX was going to do this, but I don't. It certainly would be unprecedented. No one's ever launched 2 rockets this close to each other. The closest thing that I can think of in my mind is Gemini. From the same space center, that is. We've seen 2 rocket launches go off from different space centers at the same time. The closest one would be during the Gemini program. Gemini 6A and 7, I believe. Where they ended up rendezvousing with each other. It's entirely possible that the limitation is just removed by the FAA, from the FAA by them. Yeah. All this is happening because the Federal Aviation Administration is mandating basically a daytime curfew for commercial launches because of the government shutdown. I don't know why I put that in quotes, but you get the idea. Basically, they can only launch at night. So, like I said, one of them is probably... It's 2200 to 0600. So for launches, they can only launch at night with rockets because of the lack of air traffic control because of the government shutdown. Scott Manley did point out some facts that looks like there's a retaliatory rulemaking in the FAA recently. Gee, I wonder why. It says the same on their website. That would be cool if we saw two rockets go at the same time, especially if they kind of flew in formation in the same direction. That would definitely be unprecedented. That would definitely be a first. We've never seen that before. I've been basically following the Eastern Testing Range since 2010, and all the launches that go out of there, I've never seen that. This curfew is great for overseas viewers who can now watch a launch at 3 a.m. It's not going to last very long, Archie. Could be a test to determine if mission control and tracking can handle 2 at once for Starship. It's possible, yeah. Yeah. Imagine twin jellyfish. Yeah, that'd be pretty sick, man. Hey, Talon, 114-month resub. Thank you. What would the issues actually be for this sort of launch? I'm very confident that SpaceX could launch 2 Falcon 9s at the same time. I am very confident that that could happen. What I'm like on the fence about Hellfish is the range being able to deal with that bandwidth. That's it. Especially with this shutdown going on. I was about to put it in quotes again, but they were scheduled for 5 minutes apart, but one got delayed due to a GSE issue. Yeah, I think they'll move, Vulcan, to be honest. Unless SpaceX is deliberately testing something. But the fact that they were off by 5 minutes in the first place kind of shows me that they really weren't. You know, nice shirt. Oh, thank you. Thank you. It's kind of skunky. You know what I mean? It kind of stinks. It's kind of dank in here, you know what I mean? Not for that reason. Also, EJ, you want to see something cool? No? Everything you do is dumb. Yeah, of course I do, man. Link it up. Damn! Hell yeah, dude. Link it up. What do you got? Oh. I won't get gacked by music if I show this, Vulcan, will I? Are you sure? Because if you do, I know where you live, man. Remember that. I know where you live. And you know I'm the same size, so at least it'll be a good fight. What do you got for me here, Chief? You have to stream the fight if we do. So you are going to claim the video? So you're going to claim? I mean, hey, if I'm going to get my butt kicked, I'd do it for content. You know what I mean? Or, you know, lay it down, dude. I've been taking the creatine. Yeah, look. Yes, I'm flexing to people on the internet. Anyway. Sanctioned fight in front of the Artemis 2 SLS. If I'm going to get my butt kicked for content in front of a moon rocket, yeah, no, I'm good. Yeah. Dude, you could, like, run me over with a truck or something. I'd be like, the rocket. Rocket. All right, let's see what we got. So this is the documentary you're working on about Artemis 1, yeah? Oop.
Thank you for joining us live at Kennedy Space Center. You are looking at the world's most powerful rocket and Orion spacecraft.
Today is a big day at NASA. We've selected the design of a new space exploration system that will take humans far beyond Earth.
I want that truck.
I feel like every opportunity that we have to work with the teams brings us a step closer to feeling like this is real.
The mission management team has been pulled. We have a go to proceed with terminal count and launch
Golly.
Artemis 1.
AA2. That was fun, man. That was a good stream.
And here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Why didn't you include the boosters and ignition? Vulcan, why didn't you do that? Why didn't you include that part? No, this looks great, man. I have to leave you something to watch the premiere. Nice, dude. So that's where you've been. This is great, dude. Let's see, what do we got here? Nice. That is this Lussie. Very nice. There you go, Airborne. Is it bad if I want whatever this is? That I don't know what it is. It just looks cool. Also, I want the trailer that's pulling that dome behind it. And you know what? I want the dome too. Yeah. Can I just have everything in this picture? I don't know what the hell I'd do with that, but I want it too. One of each, please, and thank you. That's Complex 46. That's the AA2 mission. Yes. Why is that Delta Force shot? Ooh, nice Jeep. Oh, the LVSA is not bad either. Mustangs. I want the Jeep. Is that bad? I already have one of those. Why is this Delta 4 footage all fuzzy? What's... Oh, hey! This looks great, man. It's just that Delta 4 footage is a little strange. It's low res, dude. I think that's 480p. Oh, look at the top. That's why it's yeah, it's old. Okay, that was 11 years ago. See, in my mind, EFT1 was not that long ago. Is that bad? EFT1, it's like, oh yeah, EFT1, that was like 5 years ago. No, it was 11. Balls. All right, anyway. This looks great, dude. The Guppy! Look at the Guppy. Yes. This looks great, man. Oh, mamacita. It just needs a better service module. Just a little bit better. Just a little bit better. If we can get 2,500 meters a second out of this bad boy, just make it a little bit longer. Frick it. Frick it. Frick it. Yeah, frick it. It's fine. But other than that, though, nice. That shot's mint. Here, look, eye candy. Yeah, what do you mean? Oh, yeah. Dude, I need... That's the AA2 mission Orion is sent to. I need this in my life. I don't know why. I just think a little tiny flatbed golf cart thing could be useful. Like... Download the sell sheet. Very nice. How much? If you have to ask, you probably can't afford it. Tracking rig on the back. It's a good idea. It looks like a K-truck. Yeah, exactly, Kraz. Yeah. I like K-trucks, guys, for what it's worth. Just the little tiny Japanese pickup trucks. They're little tiny Japanese pickup trucks that are manual and all-wheel drive. I'm just saying. That's cool. That's all I'm saying. I love K-trucks. They're a pickup truck after all. Charlie. That was A1 rollout. Vulcan, do you remember during Artemis 1 rollout, one of the MPS technicians held a banana in his hand? And he was like, this is for EJ because hand banana. Do you remember that? Yeah, that was a good time. That was funny. That actually happened, you know. Yep. One of the MPS technicians, main propulsion system on SLS, was sitting on the ML rollout, and he's holding a banana in his hand like the hand banana emote. So, yep. EJSA just leaving his mark. We're just leaving our mark here on the space program. People holding bananas next to multi-billion-dollar rockets. I'd like to think that we left a good impression. That was on rollout. That was this. Dude, the guy is standing right there. Can't say who it was though. But hey, Bob. Hey, Baba. Nice. The banana is likely in that shot. Yeah, it was during the first phase of rollout. My boy's standing on the ML over there. Very nice, dude. This looks great. Seriously, this looks good. How long is the documentary, Vulcan? How long did you make this sucker? 40 minutes? Nice, dude. Nice, nice, nice. We should show it on stream, man. How much you want? How much you like? I'll give you $350. Show it on stream. Yeah, I know, Archie. I have so much respect for what the Apollo 11 2019 did after doing this. I noticed that some shots that you had were very similar. The guy walking next to the CT. Mint. Minitrucks.net. Oh, God. Oh, God. Don't show me that. You already bought me lunch once, so if you want to show the premiere live next Sunday, feel free. You should be paid for your work, man. You should be paid for your work. If I slip you a C note, you better not get mad at me. I'm not going to look at that mini truck thing. We should not do that. The trucks are mini, so you could fit more on your property. Yeah. I have... How many do I have right now? I have 4 pickup trucks on my property right now. The F-100, the F-250, the F-350, and the Ram 1500. Pay him in nuggies? He'd probably... I mean, Vulcan would probably like that. I mean, I would like that. I'd like chicken nuggets. I'm 37 years old. I love chicken nuggets. I don't care what anybody says. You can buy the album on vinyl when it comes out if you want to support the project. I do want to support the project. Okay. Wait, I'm sorry. Ram 1500? When? RB, I have a 2004 Ram 1500 to, you know, take the motor out of and, you know... Picking up what I'm laying down? It's going in that thing. It's going in that thing. You know. What year? It's an 04. It's an 04, no MDS 619. So I don't have to worry about the lifter tick too much. I mean, we're still going to go through the motor before I put it in the Cornet, clean it up and stuff. What happened to the Cornet's engine? Nothing. It runs. Runs fine. Yarg, the thing is, the 5.2 liter that's in it, the 318, makes 180 horsepower. Or made like 180 horsepower from the factory. The Gen 3 Hemi, so the 5.7 from that Ram, makes 345 horsepower from the factory. Picking up what I'm laying down? I'm going to have a 2-door, or a 4-door Coronet that goes way faster than any 2-door Coronet. Modern technology, baby. I wonder if we could find a good deal on a 426 rotating assembly for it. Well, I'm not even at the... We're not even that far on that project yet, guys. I got... Let's get a good shell before we go any further. I got to finish it. Yeah, K-Trucks just became legal in Massachusetts, too, Artyom. So, I mean, I do like pickup trucks. I approve of this swap. Oh, yeah? Yeah. You should come help me. Come help me finish it, man. We have some engineering to do on this thing. It turns out that a chassis from 1969, you know, that's designed to take a 180 horsepower motor, and like maybe 425 from the Hemi, needs some reinforcement. So we're gonna need to do some engine nerding on that thing, dude. Head up and come up here. I got the welder. Let's do it. If I could, I totally would cross the country and do a cross-country venture to help. Yeah, no, it's all good, man. It's all good. All good. Last, what's on your mind, Tesser? Chicken nuggets are great with chicken ramen noodles. Had to step away for a minute, so I caught if you missed my last. Well, what about my last, Aqualux? Did you see that? No, you did not. Did you see this guy doing a K-Truck? Oh, this is Andy DiDeRossi. Yeah, I know this guy. I know Andy. I don't know him, but I know him. Yeah, I know of that. I'm subscribed to that YouTube channel. Yeah, you didn't catch my last. Maybe if you pay attention more. Anyway. Vulcan, I need to go get food now after today. Glad you're looking forward to the project, and I'm looking forward to having proper free time again in a few days. Video editing sucks. It's a labor of love. That's why I don't edit videos. I just stream. Because it sucks. It's a lot of work. See my next. See my last. Okay, I'm good. Sorry. Can you lift the braking system out of the Ram and fit it into the Coronet? I would like to, Tessa. How cool would it be to not only have like a 69 Coronet with a 5.7 Hemi in it, but ABS in it too? That'd be kind of sick, actually. We'd have to figure out a way to hotwire the Coronet's master cylinder to the ABS and get the ECU to jive with all that. That might be a little bit difficult. But if we have to binky this thing, we got to binky it, dude. What, am I not invested in the damn project? We're binky levels already, dude. The car's in pieces. The trunk's out of the car, all right? We already opened up the box, and the box meaning the trunk. We opened up Pandora's trunk, okay? Not even box, all right? So if we have to binky it, we have to binky it. So what? Yeah, no, leave the ABS out. We need CNC circuit boards. I don't need to go that crazy, Fozzie, but if we have to, I might go that crazy. It really depends. Just get Sawyer to edit it. He apparently enjoys it. I do not. I think he might be a little bit sarcastic, DH. Our ABS unit's already separate from the master cylinder. Yeah. The issue is that the ABS is calibrated for the Ram, and you would need to retrofit wheel speed sensors. Oh no. Get Drummer to do the editing. He enjoys being busy. Does he? I don't know, man. Yeah, either way. Are you gonna try Surviving Mars relaunched? Probably not, Josh, to be honest with you. I don't know. The point is with the Coronet, if we're gonna put a modern engine in it, we can't just... I don't really want to put a modern engine in it and not modern anything else. You know? That might get a little, you know, complicated. Like, I'm not going to have drum brakes. It has drum brakes all around. It has 4 drums on it right now. We're not doing that with the 5.7 Hemi. I don't have a death wish. Whatever happened to Flight Sim 24? I don't play it. Take the air conditioner from the Ram. My Coronet is not a factory AC car, Tessa. We would need to redo the dashboard to get that to work. But, I mean, they make the parts. They make the AC kits for them. So, are you going to do the Ram's axle? 619, I might. I don't know what that Ram has in it for the axles. I don't know. I recently figured out, strangely enough, that the Coronet has an 8 1/4 rear axle in it. It's not a 7 1/4 like I thought. It's an 8 1/4, which is very strange because the internet's telling me that 8 1/4 Chrysler rear ends didn't come around until 1971, and it's a 1969, which is weird. Take the window AC from Sears. Ah, that's a good idea. How big are the Ram's rotors? I don't know. Different lug pattern, though, I think. If New Glenn lands the booster on the barge, are you going to scream like on Flight 12? Probably not Flight 12, but I'll be pretty happy. Someone swapped the rear? The Aqualex, that's what I don't know. I don't understand. Maybe the internet lied. Yeah. Could be a very late 69 build. That's true. Yeah. If you go search 8 1/4 rear end 1969 Coronet, it's like, no, the chat GPT will pop up and it'll say like, no, they weren't in there till 71. But if you go searching around on the forums, you can see other people that have 8 1/4 rear ends. Maybe it was a popular swap. I have no idea. Either way, an 8 1/4 rear end is not going to hold up to that Hemi too well. It will destroy it. We're going to need a new rear end and a new transmission. But that's way down the road. I'm just trying to get the shell repaired. And when the shell gets repaired, that's when what I'm trying to do is get the shell work. We need a good shell. You can't have a rusty shell and put that Hemi in there. That's no good. It'll look like Lumberjack flying around the corners. I don't want that. That's not what I'm looking for. I will not do the engine swap, at least for a little bit. Is the Ram running? Yeah, it runs. It doesn't drive very far, but it runs. Yeah. I'm just trying to get a good shell. And when I get a good shell, I'm looking to do a factory restoration on it for the most part, like the interior and stuff. Like, you know, get it all nice. You know? And then maybe don't paint it. That's probably last. We probably do that last. Just get it nice, get it looking good, and then yeah, drive it for a little bit, and then we start doing fun stuff to it. There should be a bill of material number stamped on the axle tube that'll make it way easier to track the axle. I'll have to go look, Drunar, yeah. It has a 45 FRE transmission in it then. I was looking at a 47RH 619. A 727 with overdrive. So 47RH with hydraulic. An entirely hydraulic transmission would be much easier. It'd be much easier to get the ECU to jive right. You know what I mean? But anyway. So yeah, Vulcan, that looks amazing. That looks really cool. We'll definitely watch it. Now, speaking of Artemis, check this out, guys. Airbus has shipped out the 4th European service module for Artemis 4. ESM-4 is ready to leave Airbus's facilities in Bremen, Germany to be shipped to KSC in Florida for the Artemis 4 mission. There you go. It's a real shame that they're starting to mass produce this anemic service module, but hey, whatever. No, Mayor, I'm not doing any of that. I'm not doing any of that. And also, check this out. L3 Harris posted this. The second flight RS-25 rocket engine that will help power the Artemis 5 mission is preparing for its acceptance hot fire at Stennis. There's an RS-25E right there, ready to go. Very nice. E. I still say you put a 9-inch in there. Yeah, maybe. That's the cheaper RS-25, right? Yes. What's new with this one? The RS-25E, guys, is a version of the shuttle engine. It is an expendable version of the shuttle engine, so a lot of the reusable components from the shuttle program have been taken off. The RS-25E is also a shuttle. It's basically a modernized shuttle engine. Unfortunately, it's expendable, but it is a modernized shuttle engine using modern manufacturing techniques. Artemis 5, I thought they were canceling it after the Artemis 4 launch. Nope, that's all hearsay. Who knows what's going to happen if if the president's nomination goes through and Jared Isaacman gets put in there. Who knows? Personally, in my opinion, guys, I think that from everything that I've seen with Rook, it's kind of hard to surmise exactly what he's going to do. But he did talk about block buying spaceflight architecture. Now, whether that pertains to block buying starships or SLS kind of remains to be seen. Personally, if it was up to me, guys, I would do that. I think right now, for NASA, it is right to block buy at least 40 SLSs. I understand people are going to be like, EJ, isn't that so expensive? Not if you buy 40 of them. A lot of people, I kind of read around on space Twitter and just around on social media, and I watch like NSF chat and stuff, you know, when they're doing streams and stuff, guys. And one thing that I've really noticed is that people don't seem to understand what total cost involved means. The RS-25Es are carrying it's between $100 and $200 million price tag per engine. Now, I know that sounds absolutely absurd. If that sounds absolutely absurd, well, that's because it is. That's not necessarily a unit cost of the engine. How government contracting works is as follows. If I want 20 engines from you, okay, and it's going to take, you have to build, if I want 20 engines from a contractor, it's not like I buy the engines at a per unit price. No. How the contract works is building the factory for the engines, hiring all the people to build the engines, and then unit cost compounded on top of that. That's how government contracting works. It's not just buying it at a unit price unless indicated, right? Like a firm fixed price contract would be a good example of this, right? Otherwise, you are total cost involved, meaning what's the price of hiring all the technicians and all the engineers to build a new assembly line, actually buy all the materials for the assembly line, and then buy all the materials and machining and tooling to build the assembly line, or to put the assembly line together and then actually use the assembly line. That's why government engines seemingly carry a huge price tag. So like AJ-10s, RS-25s. They're expensive because that's not just the cost of building the rocket engine. That's the cost of building the factory roped in. And whatever the total amount of the factory, plus all the people, plus the design, plus all the raw materials, plus the unit cost, plus how many engines you buy, that's roped into the unit pricing. So say it costs 10 million. All right, this is made up numbers. Say it costs 10 million to build out the factory, right? And the engine in reality is $1 million per engine. Like it costs $1 million to make one engine, right? And I want 10 engines, right? So it's 1 million times 10, which is 10 million, plus the 10 million that it takes to start the factory. That would give you a unit price of $2 million an engine. So you'd be seemingly getting a $2 million engine that's worth $1 million, but it's $2 million. That's the price tag. That's what total cost means. That's how NASA does their contracts. They're TCI. It's an economic phrase. Total cost involved. If I'm going on a road trip, right? Another example would be like if I'm driving to Florida, okay? And I want to buy a new car to drive to Florida. All right. I buy a car. Say it's 40 grand. It's probably not. Just say it's $40,000, right? And then I spend $5,000 on gas. Let's say it's a gas guzzler or something. Something absurd. Maybe it's a big rig or whatever. I don't know. What that trip to Florida is $45,000. It's not just $5,000 in gas, right? It's 45. That's the total cost involved. Then there's insurance. Then there's a registration. There's inspection on top of that. Rope all that together. That goes into your unit cost. Now, the reason why I say it's right for NASA to block buy things right now, okay? The reason why I say it's right to block buy things is because say this truck that I'm driving to and from Florida, right? Say I drive it to Florida. I do it once, I go back. I spend $5,000 for the gas, $40,000 for the vehicle, right? And then let's say $2,500 of gas, $2,500 for insurance and registration, etc. So we still run at the $45,000 price point, right? The next trip that I do with this truck, okay? I mean, this provides, that the truck is reusable to an extent, right? The next trip would be not even close to that price. You're just paying for gas from there on out, right? Now, the truck analogy being reusable is in this analogy, it means your factory is reusable. Your factory is not going to make one and then call it a day, right? This isn't the best analogy, but you get the idea. The point is that $100 million price point per engine goes down. The unit cost goes down over time because of total cost involved. With the amount of engines that they have, I think they're all the way out to Artemis 9. So that's 36 engines. That's 36 engines plus restarting the RS-25 production line, plus hiring all the people to restart and re-engineer the engine with modern manufacturing techniques, right? Does that make sense? If you double that number, your unit price per motor, total cost involved, literally gets cut in half. If you triple that number, it gets thirded. If you quadruple that number, you can get RS-25 costs down to basically unit price because total cost involved. Because eventually you're not even paying for the factory anymore. You're just paying the wages of the workers that put it together. The factory's already built. So you're just it's raw materials and people's time at that point. How do you think SpaceX is able to get Raptor production so high and control costs? Because at this point, it's just labor hours putting the stupid things together and raw materials to keep making them. All the engineering is done. And, well, I would say the development is done too, but SpaceX does iterative design, so it's not really ever done, but you get the idea. So people just talk about the government hardware in a different language than they talk about private industry, and no one will explain that there are two different standards being applied here. That's correct. That's why ML2 seems so expensive. SLS seems so expensive. The engine seems so expensive. That's why. Rook did talk about in his plans. He talked about this on the Sean Ryan podcast. Sean Ryan's an ex-Navy SEAL that has a podcast. Really good, actually, if you care. He talked about block buying things, and he wrote about it in his Project Athena paper, which was his kind of what he's going to do if he gets nominated to NASA administrator, right? He talked about block buying things. If he block bought SLS right now, you could get an SLS stack cost down, even taking into account 4 times a year. If it launches 4 times a year for the next 10 years, you could get your stack cost down to probably like $200-300 million. That would be my guess. SLS is not that expensive. It's expensive if you fly it once a year. I'm not from the U.S., so I'm not sure how accurate this question will be. What does it matter to the U.S. taxpayer whether it's total cost involved or not? At the end of the day, taxpayers are paying the whole sum, right? Or is there some private component to the cost? Lava Eagle, the reason why I bring this up is because people that don't understand economics, and don't get me wrong, I am not an arbiter of economic policy. I have, like, bro, I learned how to finance things from Roller Coaster Tycoon and SimCity and City Skylines, all right? I am not like a finance bro, Patrick Bateman type, all right? That ain't me. However, I do understand the difference between total cost involved and per unit pricing. How this is applicable is I see people in the spaceflight community, journalists, pundits, whomever, say SLS is too expensive. And don't get me wrong, SLS is a little expensive. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like it isn't. There are reasons why, if you look at how the government prices things, there are reasons why. But you look at something like Falcon 9. Falcon 9 is, I mean, the price tag is about 60 million. It's probably lower now, but it's about 60 million if you wanted to put 23 tons into Leo, right? Now you compare that to people sometimes compare this. Like SLS can do about 100 tons, Block 1 can do about 100 tons, and it's $2 billion. So people say $2 billion for 100 tons or 60 million for 20 tons. Not realizing they're comparing a total cost involved contracting structure to a firm fixed price per unit price. And then they use that as like, oh, well, SpaceX is always going to be cheaper. Now, with that being said, SpaceX is cheaper right now. But it's cheaper because SLS doesn't launch a lot. If Rook meant block buying SLS, now we're talking. Now we're talking. You could get the price per unit down on an SLS to scale in comparison with Falcon 9. Meaning, if Falcon 9 needs to put 100 tons into space, you're going to need 5 flights. It's 23.5 for an expended core. Okay, to low Earth orbit. You want to put over 100 tons in, you're going to need 5 of them. Okay? 5 Falcon 9s at a $60 million price point, that's $300 million. If we block bought SLS, you could get the per unit cost of an SLS down to about maybe 300 to 400 mil. It'll scale appropriately in comparison. The reason why I bring this up, Lava, isn't to say that the taxpayers are getting screwed. We're only getting screwed because we don't launch it enough. That's what I'm trying to tell you. The worst space program is the one that never launches. The reason why I bring this up and why I'm telling you guys about this is because that, look, it doesn't matter if it's Falcon 9, it doesn't matter if it's Saturn V, the space shuttle, whatever. Capability scales with cost. You want your rocket to do more things, it's going to be more expensive. The Saturn V will always be more expensive than a Falcon 9. But a Saturn V with a CSM and a LEM on it can do way more than what a Falcon 9 can do, can't it? So it's always going to be a little bit more expensive. Now, the other thing is it's always going to cost you a certain amount of cash to launch a rocket. It's always going to cost you a certain amount. Like if anybody could sit here and look at me with a straight face and say like a Starship flight isn't launching to the tune of like $2 to $3 billion a launch right now in operations, materials, support, whatever. If anybody can tell me with a straight face, you're a damn good liar, because there's no way that this isn't a multi-billion-dollar endeavor at this point. My point is that the Starship program and SLS program they're going to end up costing about the same amount. What you do with the architecture that you developed is very important. What you do with it is the important part. It's always going to be expensive. What you do with it makes a difference. The space shuttle in 2011, after the space shuttle program ended, they compounded that the space shuttle costs about $425 million per unit, like per stack. Okay, so that's all. It costs $400 to put a shuttle into Leo. Think about that for a second. And that was cited as a very expensive thing to do at the time. A shuttle can move 25,000 kilograms into space in one shot, and up to 7 people in one shot. It can build space stations. It can bring cargo back down. It has an airlock. You can service satellites. You get that capability every time. For all that capability rolled into one launch, $420 million is a pretty damn good price point. I don't care what anybody says. $400 million, guys. The research and development cost is roped into your unit cost. That's what total cost involved means. It's just something to point out. Everybody says that these engines are super expensive. No. Restarting the production line for RS-25s is the expensive part. Making the engine is not the expensive part. Is that also why building one-off probes and telescopes don't make sense? Yes, correct. Andrew, what I'm saying is instead of, we'll speak in StarCraft terms. If you don't understand StarCraft, I'll come up with another analogy. Instead of making a bunch of siege tanks, we're going to make a bunch of Zerglings. Zerglings will accomplish the task. Are Zerglings harder to make? No, but they'll still accomplish the same kind of task that siege tanks do. They'll still wipe out the enemy base. A lot more of them might fail. Do you see what I'm saying? Also, frick Zerg, you freaking heretic bastards. You want a piece of me, boy? Jacked up, good to go. Rock and roll. Does that make sense, dudes? 100% agree, Terran through and through. I knew I liked you, Cirrus. I knew I liked you. Also, happy 250th birthday to the United States Marine Corps. Semper Fidelis, my friends. Let's eat some crayons, baby. Okay, I agree. I was just giving examples. Yep. Dear humanity, we regret being alien bastards. We regret coming to Earth. And we most definitely regret the Corps just blew up our raggedy-ass fleet. You got a master's in SC2. Dude, I suck at that game, serious. I only got to gold. I'm so bad. So bad at StarCraft. Quantity has a quality all its own. That's right. Zerg rush the moon. That is what Rook wants to do. That is a good idea. Okay? What made JPL, the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, so legendary is that they didn't do these. They didn't do this type of stuff in the 90s. You had Spirit and Opportunity and Pathfinder, these little tiny things. Just send them. Send 2 or 3 of them. Screw it. Look at the science that we got from that. If I had my way, we'd be carpet bombing Mars with Perseverance and Curiosity style rovers launched stack on a freaking SLS. If I had my way, I'm just saying, we would do that. We'd stack like a bunch of them on top of each other and carpet bomb Mars with sky cranes and rovers. That's what we need to be doing. That's what we should be doing. We got to buy more. If you buy more of this stuff, right, you're good to go. And the reason why I always say I want 40 SLSs over the next 10 years is because that's good enough for a sustainable lunar program for the next decade. The next decade for sustainable lunar presence, couple that with Starship HLS, Blue Origin Mark 1, Blue Origin Mark 2. You couple that all together, right? And you refactor SLS's architecture to include a lander, maybe uprate Orion's service module over the next 40 missions, right? You get that launching to the tune of 4 times a year. That should give you enough time for commercial to really get to the point where their technology is matured out, and then you just switch to using commercial all day. Just like the government, instead of engineering their own truck, would buy an F-150 from Ford. Government doesn't make their own vehicles. They don't do that. They procure vehicles. The government doesn't make an F-16. They buy them from, well, General Dynamics, but it's not General Dynamics anymore. You get the idea. How big of a factor is reusability? If you're saying you could get costs down so much even with an expendable program, how is reusability still worth it? Okay. So Daytal, in the case of Falcon 9, I mean, ideally reusability would make sense. You can do it with expendable vehicles, but with reusable stuff, right? Now, my Falcon 9 SLS analogy is about capability. It's not about reuse. If you reuse a Falcon 9, all you're doing is paying for second stages at this point, right? That's all you're doing. You're only paying for second stages. So your production line, instead of having to build first and second stages, can just focus on building first stages or second stages all day. Like in the case of the shuttle, I'll give you an example with the shuttle program. The idea was that all the most expensive things were on the space shuttle. The external tank is quite actually just two liquid oxygen tank and a liquid hydrogen tank with an inner tank with a strut going through it. That's it. It is actually just an external tank, as the name implies. And SRBs are just a metal tube, right? All of the expensive stuff, the avionics, the second stage liquid fuel engines, the SSMEs, right? The people, that's kind of important. All that stuff is in one unit that comes back down. So if you can mass produce SRBs and mass produce external tanks, you're not building a shuttle every time. And the idea is that you could increase your launch cadence with reusability and lower the price even more. That's the idea. Reusability, you can be cost effective with an expendable vehicle. You can. As long as the vehicle is simple enough. That's the reason why I like Ares 1, because I think Ares 1 could have done that if employed in scale, but it's Ares 1. Right? Reusability could lower it even more on top of that. And that's again what I'm talking about. It's not how much it's going to cost. Building something like Starship, building something like the shuttle, building something like SLS or the Saturn V is always going to be a multi-billion-dollar endeavor. What you do with it is what's the difference, right? And in the case of SpaceX, the reusability favors launch cadence, which can lower the price even more. That's why Elon always goes on with his technical updates, and he says Starship could theoretically get down to a $2 million per launch price point. Because if you can launch on an hour launch cadence, right? If you launch 1 hour, like 1 hour apart, Starship comes back down, lands. You could just load it up with new cargo, put it back on the pad, and send it, right? That's where you're getting that that's where that's derived from. That $2 million price point is derived from high launch cadence. High launch cadence and mass production. Mass production is going to take a lot of money. Starship is easily going to end up being a $100 billion program, just like Constellation, just like SLS is. Just like the shuttle program is, just like the Apollo program is. What you do with it is what makes the most sense. And reusability favors cost over time, right? That's why I say only buy enough SLSs to make sure that buy enough SLSs and have the Artemis program basically get a nice sustainable lunar presence going and give Starship and SLD enough time to mature, and then NASA moves to vehicle procurement for applications instead of making their own stuff in-house. I have a question. Why can New Glenn's booster can be reused more than 25 times, but Falcon 9 can only do 40 reuses on one booster? Why is it like that?
Discovery, go at throttle up.
So New Glenn has never been reused. Nero, how are you, mate? You ready for the summertime, mate? You better be. Starting to get freaking cold up there, up here. That means you guys are getting the summertime. Falcon can be reused. We don't know. SpaceX doesn't even know, New Glenn, how many times a Falcon 9 can be reused. They don't even know that number. They don't know that number because they keep sending it and it keeps freaking coming back. They keep sending it on a mission and like, okay, this is the 31st flight. It might not come back. Who knows? 32nd. Okay, it might not come back. Now it keeps landing. So SpaceX is really just going to keep reusing it until they find a breaking point. Yeah. Right now, their target is getting a Falcon 9 core to 40 missions, which is bananas. 40 missions will surpass Discovery. 39 missions. It's already getting hot. Damn, dude. It's getting freaking cold, dude. It's gonna be -1 C here this week. But Blue Origin is saying that it could be expected to be reused almost 100 times. Yeah. Talk is cheap. Watching. Talk is cheap. Let's... They're saying that, right? They're saying that, right? But there is no technical basis for this yet. Let's reuse one. Let's land one. The reason why SpaceX is aiming for 40 missions is because they've gotten that far by actually getting a Falcon 9 to be reused almost 40 times. But if it gets to 40 and the rocket's still good, they'll say 50. They'll say 60. That is a theoretical hypothetical. Theoretical hypothetical? That'd be a good band name. Anyway. Hot Off the Press October update from Relativity. Oh boy, more voiceover work for me. Lovely. So, yeah, just a little thing on unit cost versus total cost involved. I always make it a thing to mention it. Don't get suckered by that stuff. The Artemis program, don't get me wrong, it's a little bit expensive for doing nothing for 15 years. But if we fix that by actually giving it something to do and having routine missions, we can recoup some of that $93 billion that we've spent. At least it does something, right? And you could get your costs down to be competitive in the market in terms of capability. Theoretical hypothetical would be a great math rock band name. Agreed. Yeah, Graham. Snow sucks. I hate snow. I hate the snow. I hate the snow. I hate the sleet and I hate the rain. But most of all, I hate the snow. All right, let's see what Relativity is up to. Nope. Okay. All right, I have to go into voiceover mode again. Are there new Raptors on each Falcon relaunch? I don't know why SpaceX would have new Starship motors for their Falcon 9 launches, but no, there is not. Terran R update October 2025. With another month of Terran R development behind us, let's take a look at what's new across the design, build, testing, and launch. In October, the team completed 11 component-level critical design reviews. There was also a concerted effort on second stage fluid components, and the team rallied to release all machine parts ahead of manufacturing need. Dates. In avionics, flight designs for the high voltage power distribution box, stage controller, and actuator controller printed circuit board assemblies were released. Flight builds continue across all aspects, and the team installed the downcomer adapter on the Stage 2 tank in preparation for acceptance testing. On the first stage, tank welding continues with fuel tank friction stir welding complete alongside painted barrel sections completing dome and barrel mechanical assembly and installing composite overwrap pressure vessels. Thrust structure integration continues with avionics trays and secondary structure bracketry installed. Fabrication of the inner stage has begun with panel production and barrel weldment in progress. The team completed a weld development... Stupid closed captioning goes too fast. The team completed a weld development campaign on the newly activated horizontal friction stir welder. Instead of welding stringers on the vertical friction stir welder, which also joins panel segments, this dedicated resource will increase weld capacity and improve flow time for future flight manufacturing. Wires. This month, the team completed thrust structure, hardware in the loop testing, hardware integration, providing a test bed for... I can't do this. This month, the team completed thrust structure, hardware in the loop, hardware integration, providing a test bed for vehicle software, avionics, and partner teams to validate designs. Automation and configuration prior to use on the vehicle thrust structure. Okay, these sentences suck. Anyway. These milestones brought together a flight-like table build with all thrust structure avionics box designs and quantities. Equivalent ground infrastructure, capable test infrastructure that simulates avionics endpoint devices, Capable testing infrastructure and table functionality to execute flight-like components for hardware in the loop testing. In propulsion, the team completed manufacturing and assembly of 2 additional engines, which were shipped to NASA Stennis for testing. In Long Beach, we continue to expand our production capacity with dozens of new powder, bed fusion printers, and CNC machines ordered and installations beginning. These machines will increase manufacturing throughput and support future flight scaling. Propulsion hardware for Terran R's third flight is already being manufactured, with gimbal sockets, gas generator injectors, and turbopump impellers being actively printed. Propulsion testing continues to ramp up across our test stands at NASA Stennis. On the R stand, we completed the first round of Stage 1 flight engine acceptance testing and continue to test the second stage vacuum engine development article. At the E2 test stand, the team executed high-flow thermal shock testing of our stage press valve. At E2, the team executed high-flow thermal shock testing of our stage... Okay, yeah, already did that. There we go. Simulating the harsh thermal conditions the valve will experience during Stage 1 relight. On the A2 stand, renovations continue in preparation for Terran R stage testing. Wide flange steel support beams have been installed for structural reinforcement. And welding on the live ring, the structure that holds the stage in place during testing and absorbs the thrust and vibration, is underway. In parallel, the environmental control system vaporizer, which converts cryogenic liquids into controlled gas flow, has been lifted into place. The team at Cape Canaveral continues to make progress at LC-16. Yes, goalie, for the most part. Work on the horizontal integration facility continues, with siding, panels, and roofing being installed. Now, that crane looks like it's operated by a moron, chat. You see this? This is the kind of crane a moron uses. The water tower is now being erected, currently standing 60 feet tall and climbing. Piles for the lightning protection system have been installed, and construction has kicked off on a flare stack for the liquid natural gas system. Hey, I like that crane. Nah, that crane was pretty good. It's pretty cool. Fabrication of the pad support facility has begun with the foundations being poured. Takes a moron to know one. Yeah, so I'm not denying that at all. And the launch mount rebar is in full swing, with rebar and framework ongoing, with key progress across primary structures manufacturing, acceptance testing, and infrastructure build out. October was another busy month for the Terran R program. Stir welding stringers, though. Every milestone brings us one step closer to first launch and beyond. Cool. I want to see those pictures of the launch site. Nice. That's actually super cool. Cool. All right, so Relativity's making good progress. I would like to remind people that Terran R is actually bigger than Falcon 9, and it can move slightly more payload into space reusable. Wait till you see how much taller it gets, the water tower. Well, yeah, I'd assume they built that subsection and then they're going to lift it up and put it on top of something, goalie. Why else would that big crane be there? Neat. They're jacking it up. She's already in place. Oh, neat. Speaking of water towers, there's apparently a 400-foot tall one being built at McGregor. Nice. Water towers always remind you of the early Starship when we thought the OLM's legs were going to be the water tower's legs. I remember that. That was a good time. Cool. So that's a good update from Relativity. That just happened. Anyway, we got another update. We got an update from Axiom here. Let's see what Axiom Space is up to. Nope. Can't do that either. I hope there's closed caption.
Station Power Design Manager.
Okay, there isn't. Let me mute the sound and I will tell you what he's saying. Hello. His name's Gaddy Fisher. He's the Avionics Station Power Design Manager. We're designing a number of different power electronics boards. One is for being connected to the ISS and one is for the station. Yeah. These power boards are designed to pull power from the ISS or pull power from Axiom's space station module solar panel arrays. Another board that they're working on is the power distribution board. How they distribute this energy that they get from the ISS and the solar panel boards. It's like a circuit breaker for your house, but much more complicated. For example, here's a prototype of one of our power distribution boards. It has a very complicated power converter. It's their own design. And so far, they got pretty good results with it for our next step. Hold on, what did that say? Yeah, 28 volts. Make it even more efficient is the next step. Cool. Nice. At least Axiom is working on some space station hardware. That is pretty cool. They're working on their own PCBs. That's actually pretty neat. When do you think Falcon 9 will cease operations in favor of Starship? Falcon 9 will be operating well into the 2030s, guys. Yeah, at least another 10 years. So that was a 28-volt power bus, which means they're using 28-volt systems. So it's aviation, it's airplane spec for the most part. At least that's what I surmise from 28-volt point of load power board. Oh, look at all the little guy. Look at the little guy. Does the stuff run on DC? Yeah. Yeah, all spacecraft do. Can you show it again? Sure. Once Falcon 9 is done, should NASA buy Falcon 9 in its facilities and operate it themselves? If SpaceX has their Waypig Zig, there's really going to be no need for that. So I see something that those are caps, right? The video too, if there was one. Yeah, Cyborg. Everything. Yeah, everything is DC on rockets, guys. They're. I mean, this is 28 volt, which is airplane stuff. That's 28 volt is airplanes. Airplanes run off 28 volt systems. 28 and 24. It depends on the airplane. Actually, are there any Cessna, like, is anybody here certified on like a 172? What's a 172 run off of? It's got to be 12. It's got to be a 12 volt system. You don't need a lot of power to run one of those things. I don't think the market for Falcon 9 size rockets will ever die. Sometimes you just don't need a super heavy lifter. Starship will not take over everything. Cessnas are a 12, 14 volt system. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, Cessna's basically a car wiring harness in an airplane. Yeah, 28 volt is like fighter jets and airliners and stuff. They use those because they have a lot more electronics on them than a Cessna. Pretty straightforward stuff. Which is great because you could use the same trickle charger for your car on an airplane. Dan, is a Cessna just using like a 12 volt lead acid battery for power? Like, yeah, it's just got a car battery in it, and you have like a, what is it, a flat 4? It's an air cooled like Lycoming flat 4, right? It could be a flat 6. I mean, I don't know. I guess it depends. Sears Diehard. Yeah, all right. 4 or 6 depending, yeah. Use the service lead acid batteries on Cessnas. Yep. Some Cessnas have a 4, some have 6. Mm-hmm. Several, sometimes in serial. Yep. Would SpaceX ever go to a 48 volt like Tesla's? I don't know. I don't even know what Falcon 9 is, Andrew. I have no idea. They may have already done it. In fact, I'll bet you Starship does something like that. I bet you Starship has something similar. Think about the voltage, the DC to DC converter that you're going to need to use their electronic thrust vector control systems. The ETVC is, dude, it's got to be 48 volts architecture at least with a DC to DC system in it. Can you imagine how much voltage the electronic TVC probably eats up? Oh my goodness. Hey, Cyderg, 69 month resub. Nice. Nice. Now, the real question is it shuttle derived? I'll keep this meme going for at least a few streams ago. Yeah, I don't know, maybe. Those ETVCs are beefy. Same high voltages as on the Tesla drive motors, probably. That would make sense, Oglex. Yeah. Why not? Why wouldn't you? Somebody already did the engineering for you. Also, the reason for the difference between 24 and 28 volt systems is because of lead acid or NICD batteries. Nickel cadmium. Yeah, the nickel batteries is 28 volts. That makes sense. Could they have an alternator on Raptor? I don't know about Raptor. Some rocket engines have power takeoff. They have a PTO, electronic PTO. Nickel cadmium. Yeah, that's what I thought. Cool. Neat. Electrical systems. 48 volt is Path of Exile. I know it's power over internet, PoE. Battery composition reminds you of chocolate. That's Cadbury eggs, not catnip. Here, just look at this picture from RGV, will you? Hey, Audrey, how are you? Forbidden chocolate. I swear if anybody here eats a battery, do not eat a battery, okay? So at the the Gigabay construction down in Boca Chica, RGV is taking pictures. They got the 4 tower cranes up to be able to assemble the Gigabay. Too late. Aren't those electrolytes? No. I'm thirsty. What? What? I was thirsty. Yeah. Smooth and electrolyte-y. You're drinking the wrong water. Gatorade. All right, so the 4 tower cranes are there to assemble. They're basically there to cover the entirety of the Gigabay. You can already see the transfer aisles forming here. The tower cranes are they're not in the transfer aisles. They're directly in front of them. Water sucks. It really, really sucks. No, stop saying that. No, you're bad people. All right. Look at this, man. See? So check this out, dude. See each one of these kind of stalls? The tower crane is in one here. So there's one there, one there, one there, one there, one there, and one at the very end. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Each aisle has 6 stalls, processing bays on either side. So there's 12 for this aisle, and then there's another aisle right here. There's 12 for that aisle. 24 bays for Super Heavy and Starship production in this bad mother. And you could start to see the stalls being made right there, which is really cool. Gigabay will the Gigabay be as tall or taller than the Gigabay tall building on the left side of the screen? No, way taller than that. This is about 2/3 the height of the Gigabay from what no, scratch that. Yeah, no, that's right. Gigabay's 380 feet tall. Goalie, they're falling behind. I was going to say, yeah, they're not nearly as fast. Yeah, also anybody want to explain this footage is coming from Lab Padre? Anybody want to explain what the hell that's about? This is not photoshopped. Did somebody take the brake off of that? It looks like it's blowing in the wind. They will do that, but that is a failure. Yeah, that's not supposed to do that. I'm pretty sure that's not good. Someone didn't set the brake. They're meant to do that in high winds. Okay. You spin me right round, baby, right round, like a tower crane, right round, round, round. You spin my head right round, like a tower crane, right round, round, round. And I I want to build your gigabay. And I want to build your gigabay. All right, sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not. That was funny. And you know it. I got a smile. I know I got a smile. I saw you laugh. I can see you laughing. Not you. Maybe not you, but you did. You are not sorry. Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. Yep. Are you freaking sorry? Thanks. I needed that laugh. Yeah, I got you. Good stuff. Good 4chan yellow text poll there, pal. Are you freaking sorry? Oh God, no. Yeah. Good times, guitars back in the day, man. Good times. Don't know about right now. You know why? Because I'm 37, and that would be weird. That would be very weird. You are weird. Yeah, but not that weird. Honestly, in terms of power architecture with SpaceX, doing basically fancy Ethernet across the whole thing seems right up their alley. Especially with how much hardware there is already out there to switch between that and fiber. Aqualex. See, this is what these simpletons don't realize. Cybertruck didn't come out of the aether, man. It didn't come out of nowhere. They did that for a reason. That crane probably had about another 20 to 30 rotations left before the top came off. Yikes. Wait, 37? It was your 32nd birthday like 2 years ago. I know, Daitor. I know. Ever since the pandemic, my internal clock's been all screwed up. Because we basically lost like 4 or 5 years. Well, not 4 or 5 years. I'd say like 2 to 3. Basically lost it. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm 33. Nope. What are those 4 towers for? They are for building the Gigabay, outdoorsman. It messed up my internal clock. You know, before the pandemic, people asked me like, how old are you? Oh, I'm 32 or 33 or 34. Now people ask and I'm like, wait. 37. I'm 37. I'm hardly old. Old woman. Man. I'm 37. I'm hardly old. I literally was talking about how my concept of time has been broken since COVID just tonight. Dude, it's a thing, Will. It's a thing. My COVID screwed up my notions of time. It's like completely screwed them up. Like, dude, it's we're almost halfway through November. Wasn't it like September, like 2 days ago? It was like September. I remember we beat Summer Car. Oh, that actually reminds me, dudes. Yo, you guys want to hear something strange? I went back and looked at the VODs. We did the rally race a couple of days before summer ended, the official end of summer, which was September 21st, right? September 21st, 2025. That was the end of summer. That means I did the rally race for Summer Car like on the 19th, maybe, right? September 19th, 2025 was my 10-year partner anniversary. I did the rally race on my 10-year partner anniversary. Isn't that weird? It took me 10 freaking years of Twitch partnership to compete in this stupid rally race. Is that strange or what? I was sitting trying to fall asleep the other day amidst all the craziness, right? I'm like, man, real life is keeping me away from the stream. It's so bad. How long have I been doing this? I've been doing this for like 10 years and I can't be punctual. I've been doing this for 10 years. Oh, damn. You mentioned it on stream, did I? I don't remember doing that. Anyway, yeah. Yeah, I've been partnered for 10 years. That's kind of neat. Been streaming for 13. Been following spaceflight for 15. Yeah. Someone pointed out that the Great Britain in Florida, Gigabay, in Florida is only getting one side really built right now. The running theory is that it's just to get certain bays set up to receive the first ships and boosters from Starbase when the time comes. I think they're trying different ways to assemble them to see which way is quicker, but it doesn't really matter. Like, speech! This week is my 13th work anniversary. Long time at one company. Yeah, I've been working for the EJSA for 13 years as well. It is the longest thing that I've ever done in my life by far. Your son, remember him? Yeah, he's 20. Don't do that again. Well, that's untrue. How long have you been alive? You've been annoying for 30 plus years. Talk to me when you're over 30 years old, RJ, and then maybe you can make that insult. You don't even know what 30 years means because you're not 30. Get the frick out, son. Boom. Murked. Want to feel old? You're an uncle now? Yeah, so am I. So what? My knees! Wait, Fair, what happened with the Dolphins, man? What the hell? How? What the hell? What happened? How'd you do that? Stop it. Don't do that again. Don't give them hope. What the frick, dude? Pain. Dude, Josh Allen's hurt, man. He's hurt. He's gotta be hurt. He's gotta be playing hurt. I think he's playing hurt. Dude, how else can you explain what the frick just happened? Like, I'm like upset for you. That's bull crap. Like, what are you doing? Honestly, what are we doing here? Anyway, Vader says, wait till you're a grandfather. Yeah. I went back to the early 2010s where the planet was not as crazy as simple. I don't know, man. 2025 EJ is pretty smart. 2010 EJ, not so much. I kind of like 2025 EJ. I'm not going to lie. Like, this is out, Dan. I made some refreshments, Dan. Would you like some refreshments, Dan? Who is Dan? Dan Marino. All this time and GTA 6 still didn't come out. We call it Pinhead. It's not a scooter, it's a sailboat. I like 2020 EJ because you did the long streams. Sunglasses EJ is better than today's EJ? Oh, come man. Mutter, you turned the Secret of the Universe number last week, and the higher the number, the more I feel like it. Yeah. Well, happy birthday, man. Seems like yesterday that Falcon Heavy launched that car. That was a good time, dude. Think about it. GTA 5 released on Xbox 360. GTA 6 mentioned. Remember the 360. I remember the 360. Does that make you feel old? I played on it for 3 years before Xbox One. I don't know, man. Yeah, GTA 6 got delayed till November 16th, 2026. Guys, I think it's kind of Jover. Read last. Dude, your birthday's coming up next month. I'll be the meaning of life, the universe, and everything. That's crazy. Hey, from Moldy, your answer is wrong. It's lightning protection towers. Wrong, they're lightning protection towers. Wrong, they're lightning protection towers. ULA calls them a lightning arrestor system, guys. So that tells me that different people have different names for things, which is fine, and that's okay. I'm not wrong. You're not wrong, but you're a dick for correcting me. You're welcome, Moldy. Cool. Rocket Lab. Quarter 3 2025 investor update. And you're a dick for making me see your last about correcting you 2 times. You hurt my feelings. Don't do it again. I'm just kidding for what it's worth. Like, this is a joke. If you're getting annoyed with me, like, I'm just messing around. So, just in case anybody's wondering. If the Nintendo DS is older than you, please be quiet. Oh, I am not older than a Nintendo DS. The Yankees will win next season. No, they will not. STA Transconstellation. Neutron, here we go. Path to launch for Neutron for Rocket Lab. Progress. Neutron is moving closer to the first launch with significant progress made under intensive qualification campaign across all systems. You're older than Half-Life 2 by a few months. Does that count? Bro, I remember waiting in line at the store for the for Half-Life 2 to come out, and then the orange box. Like, oh my God. Major pieces coming together. Oh, hello. Is this the first time we've seen Neutron's engine section? That midnight launch was awesome. Half-Life, Gordon Freeman is one of my all-time favorite video game protagonists. And that's not like anything, that's not like a big, crazy, like, oh, really? Like, him and Master Chief were the two, like, I didn't like comic book characters growing up, right? Like, Gordon Freeman and Master Chief were like my guys, you know? Stage 1 tank structure. It looks like the thrust structure for Neutron is billet. It's billet aluminum. Stage 1 tank. Stage 2 tankage. Inner stage, the hungry hippo. Hell yeah. That's awesome. Phaedrus is like, I'm older than Sputnik. Sputnik. Extensive testing underway. With Peter Beck doing the testing himself. Yeah, thrust structure testing. Tank testing. Mission team testing. A render of the Neutron launch pad. Cool. Structures. Roll. Dude. Look at that thing. Is... Yo, that thing's big. Wait a minute. The truck's mint. But I'll always. That's the. What? Wait, whoa, wait a minute. Why did I not put this two together? What's Neutron's core diameter? Hold on a second. Dude! No crap. That's a 7 meter. That's a 7 meter. It's 7 meter? No way. Bro, that thing is big. Wow. I don't know. For some reason in my mind, I was like, oh yeah, it's 5 meters. It's 5 meters. It's 5. Dude, that thing is huge. Dude, that's the same size as New Glenn. It's huge. It's 40 meters tall. Dude, I never put two and two together. That's a gigantic freaking rocket. Oh, I love it. That's great. It's 5 meters at the top, so it's basically for 5 meter payload. Well, I'd assume 5 meter would be their diameter, the second stage tanks, right? Like, I mean, that's what looks right. That's how it looks, unless I'm missing something completely. It tapers. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah, I see. Yeah. Dude, the bottom of this thing is thick. It's the low taper fade of rockets. Yeah. See, because I'm seeing this thing. I forgot it kind of tapers out, right? I'm seeing that thing, and I'm like, okay, I understand how that. Yeah, I can see how big that is. But then you see that, and you're like, okay. Why build a tapering stage? Wouldn't that just add complexity for no reason to the design to make it more expensive to machine? Clearly it's not an issue for them. I suppose when you're using carbon composite, it doesn't really matter. What is that? What is that? I know what that is. That's the power plant. That is a big old diesel engine for their landing platform. It's a turbo encabulator? Well, no, it's two turbo encabulators. See, they're right next to each other. That is a big old diesel motor, boy. See last. No. I don't want to. Only got to machine the mandrel once. Yeah, exactly, Rocky. Then you just, that's what I mean. You only make that mandrel once, and then you're just wrapping it over and over again. Okay, around this time 50 years ago, Arthur M. Anderson has turned course and notified the U.S. Coast Guard that the Edmund Fitzgerald has disappeared. That is a big inline six. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I mean, those pistons got to be like this big. The piston's probably the size of a basketball, man. Beast mode. That's awesome. Yeah, dude, this is not a small piece of equipment, man. I'm kind of seeing it all come together. That's super neat, man. Matt's retiring. Matt Akko. Cool. Thank you. How did you obtain this Rocket Lab document? Well, I took the link that I got, Horizon, and then I pasted it into the web browser. You can see the browser report as well. Yeah, I know, Ben. There's definitely strange. Anyway, all right. Cool. Yeah, dude, the bottom of Neutron is thick. Dang, boy, she thick, boy. So, guys, we have a Starlink launch, Starlink 6-87, in about 3 hours. Anybody want to play the battlefield? Perhaps? Anybody want to play Battlefield? Battlefield? Battlefield into the rocket launch? Battlefield? 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 Question. No, you do? You don't? You do? You don't? You do? You don't? You do? I should buy a boat. Have I played Ark? No. No. Are you doing anything special for Newglands? We'll do a launch stream, man. Yeah, absolutely. How big is the BF6 game? Yeah. $98.35 gigs on disk. Woof. But anyway, that's all. Oh, if I gifted a sub to Dream Chaser. Why are you gifting subs to things that don't exist? Will it be rage if we do Battlefield? No. I mean, maybe a little bit. I mean, what I've realized is that Battlefield is really old school. It's an old school shooter. It reminds me of playing shooters in the mid-2000s. So, if you're playing, anybody that played first-person shooters 20 years ago at this time knows that you don't really get mad. What you do is you tell everyone that you slept with their mother. Yeah, you got to play it as such. If you play it as such, it becomes very fun. They're the rules. That's the rules, man. I don't make the rules. You treat it real nice. Yeah, exactly. I prefer saying dad, but yes, it's the same concept. Why do you prefer that? What? Why not? You know, I don't have an answer to that. It asserts dominance. Oh my God. Oh dear. All right. Okay. All right, guys. That's going to do it for Space News. You guys know the drill on YouTube. I'm going to jog the VOD. There's still more space stuff. We'll get to the Starlink launch here. It's in about 2.5 hours. Your reaction shows exactly why. Yeah, all right. Don't be mad because I slept with your dad. It's like, what? Stop looking at me, Swan. All right. That's going to do it for Space News. We'll be back for some Battlefield After Hours, and then we'll top off the stream with a nice Starlink launch. Okay. On the YouTube side of things, stand by for a momentary loss of signal as expected. Twitch, don't go anywhere. I'll be right back.